gave us so many names. We're just going to tell you the new ones because most of the people elected were incumbents. So we're just going to talk about the new names. And if you want to see the full list of names, you can go to the gcsession.org/voted positions. All right, so let's go. Undersecretary and associate secretaries were voted last night. Samuel Saw, who was previously the president of the Southern Asia Pacific Division, he has been elected as an associate secretary. He is the only new associate secretary. Under treasurer and associate treasurers, Josh Pierre, who was previously with the Office of General Counsel here at the General Conference, he was made an associate treasurer, and Richard Stevenson, who was the who worked at the North America Division, he has been named an associate treasurer. They also gave us the auditing committee report and those elected to the auditing committee, but those were so many, we can't name them. There's just too many. So now we're going to get to some of our general conference directors. Ivan Omana was named our new chaplaincy director. He replaces Mario Ceballos, who is retiring. Orathai Churison is replacing Linda Coe as our children's ministries director. Ramon Canales is our new ministerial director, and his wife, Aurora, she will be the associate ministerial secretary. It's a ministerial secretary. And James Howard, who is an associate in Sabbath School and Personal Ministries, replaces Ramon as the Sabbath School and Personal Ministries director. And finally, you heard this last night if you watched ANN Late Night-ish, but Busi, he was the youth director in the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division, and he is now the director of GC Youth Ministries. And Sam, I want to just shout out one incumbent.
Yay!
One incumbent we want to shout out, and that is our boss.
Yes.
Williams Costa Jr. has been elected to serve for another 3 years. Because we're 2 years into the quinquennium, so 3 years. So
it's
it was
delightful.
a busy night.
It was a busy night. We had a lot of discussion on the floor, back and forth. But eventually the report was voted through.
Yeah.
And these are the directors that will be leading us for the next 3 years.
Right. And, you know, the nominating committee, I think they're keeping us on our toes.
Yes. It's like, they were going to report. No, they're not. Are they going to report? No.
So I think, for lunch. Yeah, they're going for lunch. They told us that they would report before lunch, but they were kidding. Yes. They were reporting after lunch. They weren't kidding. They just decided to do things a little differently. So let's talk a little bit about this morning. The worship theme was, what will you give me and how will I inherit it? It was a beautiful service. And after that, we returned again to the Constitution and Bylaws Amendments, which was chaired by Dr. Ella Simmons. They only talked to a few things. A lot of time was spent on the GC Executive Committee amendment regarding removal of executive committee, removal from executive committee if something was done. So if a crime was committed or theft or embezzlement occurred. And Sam, I don't know if you listened to all of the discussion or all of the comments, but they mostly discussed sort of like what is the definition of a crime if a crime was here.
This is a great moment for us to see the wisdom of the group. Yeah. Because there are things that I had never anticipated. We read the agenda, we studied it, you know, parts of these discussions, some of us were part of. And in this particular one, it seems very obvious. You have a read and you go, okay, if they committed a crime, they are convicted of a crime, then they shouldn't be part of the nominating they shouldn't be part of the executive committee, or there should be a recourse in our documents to remove them from that nominating, from that executive committee. So it's obvious, right? Except that who defines a crime? What about the different countries in the world where a crime can be defined? Someone brought up, what if in some countries, by not giving papers to the government at the right time, that's constituted a crime? Does that mean we were removing them? Right. And then one of the delegates brought up, for religious reasons, there are many countries that would deem a crime just exercising a religious freedom. Right. How does that apply? So all of these nuances and really implications of making a decision, that's what the delegates, that's what we struggle with to find a path forward.
They were also a little bit afraid that so much control would come to an overall body rather than in a local division or conference. So that, it might be used to silence, not that we believe anybody would do this, but that it could be used to silence opposing voices in the future. So this is what we spent, I would say, 3 hours on. Wait, is it 3 hours? 3 hours
lots
on.
of items
Lots of
altogether,
items.
but
yes, it's
a
what
lot
we
of
did.
time on this one.
So what are we going to expect this afternoon? Well, we're going to expect the nominating committee to come back, Sam.
Yes.
We're also going to have more constitution and bylaws agenda items.
That's it.
And
just
that's
keep
it.
going through the agenda. That's what we're doing. If you're
Right.
interested in knowing exactly what they will go through, you can have a look at the document section of gcsession.org. It's all there transparently. Have a read for yourself the language. What are your thoughts about each of the language used there? You can use this show on YouTube or Facebook to add your comments, or join us live when the discussion is happening. There's a lot of discussion happening on YouTube.
Yes.
It seems that everybody has an opinion about each of the items, which is great.
Surprising that everyone has an opinion.
We also have had a lot of spam content being posted on the YouTube. This is a problem that our team in every language is trying to control. People create these bots that post inappropriate content in the chat.
Right.
And we have tightened the controls of the chat, but they are still getting through. So we have 2 people per channel actively removing those. So if you've seen something that you shouldn't have, we apologize for it. We're working to stop those bots from posting inappropriate content during the broadcast. This is not unique to the church. This happens all the time in every live broadcast that has more than 1,000 viewers. The bots look for live streams that have more than 1,000 viewers, and they keep spamming whatever content there is. We've added filters, so you can post every 30 seconds, and you need to subscribe to the channel for a certain amount of time before you can post.
Right.
But we don't want to stop our members and others from posting. So it's a fine balance in those things. But we have people 24 hours a day monitoring those, and they are trying to remove as fast as possible and block these bots.
Right. I would also want to encourage you that if you're watching this right now and you're saying, I don't really understand what Jennifer and Sam are talking about because they're going really quick and it seems like a much more complex issue, or you were watching last night or whenever, and you saw something on ANN video that you thought was interesting and you want to check up on, or you heard something on ANN late nightish, or again, you heard something that we talked about, I'd encourage you can go to our YouTube channel at the Adventist Church and you can watch our program or the full feeds. Again, so you can watch everything again, and you can pause it and you can play it back, and you can make sure that you're listening and you truly understand. And a lot of times they're putting up that agenda and those motions and those votes so you can see it and you can follow along, because we want to make sure that everybody is aware of the decisions the Adventist Church is making this week.
And it's not easy to follow these paragraphs and the removal, the addition of language. We've been discussing this for the best part of 4, 5, 6 years,
right,
since the last general conference session. So, and we have to resolve all of these items in 4 days of business, which is pretty intense.
Yes.
So it's going pretty quickly. Some of the delegates are asking for clarification.
Right.
The delegates can visit one of the rooms, the bylaws committee room later today, and they can ask their questions, and they can even suggest language that better clarifies this.
Right.
So that's also going on.
Yeah. So I think that will wrap up sort of our conversation today, because we are going to go and join the people for lunch, I think. And
I like eating, Jennifer. Do you?
I do.
Yeah, it's good.
And so I think we're going to go take a break. And then at 1:30, the concert starts.
Yes.
So please log on, watch the concert. They're beautiful. A lot of work went into those concerts. So log on at 1:30, watch the concert. 2:00, the business meeting starts. And we will be back at 8 p.m. with ANN InDepth. But before us, ANN Video will be here at 7:30. And at 9:30, ANN Late Nightish. Sam, again, they had such a blast last night. And today, I know Kenya and Wenya went all around St. Louis. They went and to show you the landmarks and sort of what some of the delegates are doing while they're here visiting. So that will be later tonight, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.